Glad as always to have you with us, and tonight is certainly no different. It's just Wednesday, January the 28th, February, just around the corner. Groundhog Day, just around the corner as well. Super Bowl and a whole lot of other things around the corner. We'll not go there. We will go tonight, though, to talk about your weather forecast, where today sunshine and temperatures right around where they should be are going to be followed by some more winter weather before it's all said and done in the forecast period. A pair of surface lows tracking out of the upper Midwest tonight are going to trigger some widespread light to moderate precipitation from the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley on to the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states later on this week. Rain for a lot of folks, snow for a lot of others. For some of us, maybe a little bit of both. As the window has narrowed just a bit in the last 24 hours, a better idea as to what we may expect for the latter part of your weekend. I'll tell you about that in just a few moments. And it's still a long way out and still a lot of data to track, but still looking like maybe rain, maybe snow, maybe some of both over the course of your Sunday and into your Monday. On tonight's program, headlines, a couple of updates. One on Senator Brandon Smith, the other on last night's organizational meeting to form a farmers market here in McGoffin County. An announcement from the University of Pikeville I'll share with you, and homeless people in the viewing area. Maybe more than what you and I may think. What does it mean to be homeless? Not just living in a shelter or on the street, mind you. We'll talk about the services that are available and services that some folks did utilize earlier today in an event that I spoke of last evening. All that and much more before I leave you this Wednesday evening. First, we'll start off with that update on Senator Brandon Smith, who has backtracked now. He, after being charged with DUI on the very first day of this most recent legislative session, and then, of course, instructing his attorney to file for a dismissal of the case based on an 1891 law in Kentucky books that protects lawmakers from being arrested while they're in service, has now requested his same attorneys to withdraw that, saying he will take his case through the court system. The story goes back to the evening of the first day of the legislative session this year when Kentucky State Police arrested Senator Brandon Smith and charged him with DUI and speeding after a traffic stop. He was arrested on that Tuesday evening. The Kentucky State Police trooper in question detailed in his citation that he initially stopped the senator's car for driving about 20 miles per hour over the speed limit in a 45 zone in Frankfort, and that when that trooper approached the senator's vehicle, he immediately smelled alcohol on Smith's breath and or person, as well as being cited for speeding 20 miles per hour over the limit and first offense DUI. The DUI offense was considered an aggravated offense because the senator refused to take the breathalyzer test. He immediately claimed his innocence, saying that he was being targeted for his service, and later in court in his first appearance cited a section of the state constitution drawn in 1891 which bans lawmakers from being arrested except for certain offenses while an active legislative session is ongoing. He has since, as of last evening, though, recanted again, this time saying that he has instructed his attorney to withdraw that motion based on the 1891 law because he didn't want it to appear that he was getting any special treatment as a state senator, which currently serves the 30th district, which includes parts of Johnson, McGoffin, as well as Perry, Leslie, Breathitt, and Bell counties. Monday night of this week, I introduced to you McGoffin County's new agriculture agent, Courtney Jenkins, who's been in that position now since September or October, if I do recall correctly. She was discussing with us several things, including last night's first organizational meeting, an attempt and an effort to see that a farmers market is organized here in McGoffin County, one of only 14 Kentucky counties which currently do not have a farmers market. And these photographs sent down to the studio this evening on behalf of the McGoffin County Extension Office confirm that there is a lot of interest in seeing a farmers market begin here in McGoffin County. This is Courtney Jenkins as she was speaking to an in-house crowd of about 13 individuals in all, with another dozen or so who called to say that they were very interested and will be attending in the future. They just could not attend last night's meeting. However, they have already set another meeting for sometime in February. I'll have the time and date for that for you later, but they wanted us to know that last night's meeting was considered to be a phenomenal success, with more than, counting those who called in, 24 people who have shown extreme interest in seeing the formation of a farmers market here in McGoffin County. So they'll be passing the word along to us. I'll be keeping you up to date and following their efforts, and if you wanted to go to last night's meeting and didn't, you will have another chance in February, which is
just a few days away from beginning. I'll give you the time and date of that meeting just as soon as possible and keep you up to date on what we think will be a wonderful thing should it come to fruition, that being a farmer's market in eastern Kentucky, which this image has nothing to do with, but it has to do with one of our next stories coming up in just a few moments. So stay tuned. I'll have that and more after these messages.
Interview with someone from the Mountain Comprehensive Care Center discussing homeless in the viewing area in just a few moments. I've got calendar announcements and more to cover before we get there, including an announcement from the University of Pikeville just received a few moments ago. UPike has announced its newest college, the Patton College of Education, named obviously for Kentucky's 59th governor, Paul E. Patton.
UPike President Dr. James Hurley, to your left, which I'm sure you're probably well aware of by now as many times he's been on the program, says that Governor Patton's done more than anyone to promote education in the Commonwealth. He was known nationally as the higher education governor, and his 40-plus years of service to the University of Pikeville is an illustration of his passion for education. He said it was an honor to name their fifth college the Patton College of Education. As governor, Patton was a national leader, particularly in education policy. He proposed and championed the successful passage of Kentucky's Higher Education Reform Act in '97, an effort that has been recognized as a model of progressive higher education policy. And he also made substantial improvements in Kentucky's preschool and adult education programs. A native of eastern Kentucky, he served as the university's 19th president from '09 through 2013 and currently holds the position of chancellor. His tenure as president included a historic move from college to university status, implementation of the first master's degree programs, an MBA and Master of Science in Sport Management, record enrollments, and the opening of the Cole Building, a $40 million educational facility for the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Patton says he's been reluctant to have his name added to any projects or building or programs, which other people have been more involved, but he says when he knew the college was announced on January the 23rd, he thought that education was his legacy, and he was very proud and privileged to have his name attached to it. A great honor and trust, he says, he's earned. Okay, on to birthdays. Let me get rolling as your community calendar announcements begin with a birthday wish. It goes out to Mandy Love tonight from your children, grandchildren, family, and friends. It's Mandy Love's birthday. Happy birthday to you. I got a birthday wish for Julius Brown Jr. He's 12 today from Mom and Dad, sisters, Mama Joe, Mama Sheila, Papa Paul, Papa Daryl. Happy 12th to Julius Brown Jr. And a happy 4th birthday to Landon Perkins. From his mom, dad, Grandma Joe, aunts, uncles, cousins, it's a big 4th birthday wish for Landon Perkins. Happy birthday, one and all. And another announcement brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. If you want to stop using tobacco, you can take the first step at the McGoffin County Health Department with the Kentucky Cancer Program. If you need to keep that New Year's resolution, maybe need a little help or guidance or direction, you want to quit tobacco, they have a program that will get you started on that path. For more information, you can always contact the health department at 349-6212 or come to their meeting on February the 17th at 3 o'clock. I'll remind you when it gets a bit closer, February the 17th. And from what I understand, they're still at it. Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church is inviting you to revival, still ongoing, still nightly at 7. Come and join them for revival services at Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church. And join our community calendar anytime you've got a birthday, anniversary, or an organizational church or group meeting or announcement. Hey, this is where you put it on. And you can do it for free. All you have to do is get it to us. Drop it off or mail it, phone, fax, email, Facebook it. Any way you can get it to me, we'll let everyone know what you've got planned. Turning to funeral service announcements for this Wednesday the 28th, we do have one tonight, a reminder of services to be held in honor of 83-year-old Hattie Williams Webb of Sagersville, who passed away on the 26th. She was married to James Webb, who preceded her in death. Surviving are 5 daughters, Wani Minix, Linda Arnett, Brenda Burgett, Shelby Arnett, and Charlotte Montgomery. Visitation is this evening and prior to services, which are set to start tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will take place thereafter at the Flat Fork Cemetery at Flat Fork here in McGoffin County. Once again, 83-year-old Hattie Williams Webb to be laid to rest tomorrow, beginning at 11 o'clock.
Last night I had an announcement concerning today's statewide K count. And here in McGoffin County, it was at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center. The K-Count is just that. It's a count across Kentucky, a critical source of data on the number and characteristics of people who are homeless in the Commonwealth. The count also helps to obtain data on the estimated size and scope of the homeless population on any given day in Kentucky. This information collected includes demographics, household size, and disabilities to guide grant applicants, consolidated plan jurisdictions, and other local stakeholders in future planning and policy making as it pertains to our homeless. The count allows the Kentucky Housing Corporation and its partners to assess the needs of homeless Kentuckians and look for additional resources while measuring the progress and performance of current homeless programs and services. I spoke with Paula Howard in the following interview earlier today after they had seen several individuals come into the community center, those homeless and seeking their assistance.
Howard is the Housing Stability Case Manager for Mountain Comprehensive Care Center, and she was among those today at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center, reaching out to the homeless of McGoffin County.
It's a statewide count of homeless Kentuckians of all ages who are living in shelter, on the street, other places not meant for human habitation. Is being coordinated by Kentucky Housing Corporation. As far as the community center coming out to the spot that we set up as, we didn't have a whole lot come out, but the ones that did come out, most of them actually were living in mobile homes or in campers that had no running water, no electric, or that was going to be condemned, that were condemnable. The ones that I've been out in the field looking at, they are in campers, they're in homes that are condemnable. Once again, no running water, no electric.
And while those were the kinds of conditions or situations that most of those who came into the community center today were living in, Howard says that overcrowding is as much of or more common of an issue here in the hills. Larger cities maybe where families may not be as close to each other in proximity, or where people just don't have someone close to them to lean on, so to speak, in tough times, may rely more on shelters or things of that nature. While here in the mountains, it's friends and family helping neighbors or relatives.
The biggest issue I've seen here is overcrowding because people move in together. They take in their own family, they take in their neighbors and stuff. So overcrowding is another thing we can count. If there's more than 2 people per in room, that you have to count bedrooms and you have to count the living room. So if there's more than 2 people per room, counting living room, then that's counted as overcrowdedness, and you can count them as homeless too if you've moved them in.
And while the purpose of today's event was twofold, one, to get an estimated number as to how many homeless people there are in the area so grant monies can be obtained to help solve those issues for those individuals. It was also to let those same individuals know that there are services available today and every day through Mountain Comp and a variety of agencies that they collaborate with.
Mountain Comp, actually, I do the housing stability there, and they can go in to Mountain Comp or any of the agencies here because I am familiar with all of them and work with them, and they'll refer you to us. And we have grants that we have that you can fill out an application, and I will review it and see if you're eligible for it, and we help you, sustain housing.
Howard, once again, is the Housing Stability Case Manager at Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. Her office number is 886-8572. She hopes that anyone who can help her identify someone who is homeless in the McGoffin or viewing area, for that matter, will call and forward that information to her. It's not just about those individuals who are homeless, finding them as they are looking for resources, but also for everyone else to help take care of our neighbors or family and help get them the resources they need. If you know someone who needs the services of Mountain Comprehensive Care, the Kentucky Housing Corporation, or anyone else, call Howard at 886-8572. One other thing that I learned today while doing this report, the closest homeless shelter to the viewing area is in Pikeville. That's the closest one in eastern Kentucky to us here at the newsroom. It is a men's and a women's facility, 2 different facilities, one for men, one for women, and it's called West Care, and it is one of many available resources that you can be put in touch with if you call Mountain Comp, 886-8572. Now, I've also just been alerted to, before I go on to your weather forecast, the situation on the Mountain Parkway. I just spoke with Dewey Marshall of the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. He and members of the squad and local law enforcement, I believe, were trying to conduct some traffic control around a rock slide at the 65-mile marker on the Mountain Parkway. Now, one lane was completely blocked and some light debris was being removed to allow some travel maybe on the shoulders to keep both lanes or directions of traffic moving. This was right at about 5 till 6 that I received the call, and they expected that it may be an hour or two or so before they got the road completely cleared and traffic will be free to travel at its normal rate and not have any issues in that area. So once again, a rock slide of the Mountain Parkway, the 65-mile marker. Crews on scene as of 6 o'clock, I believe, right around when it was first reported, and they'll be there working that area for the next hour, possibly two, to remove all the debris. The State Highway Department is on its way and en route to help get rid of all the material and debris in the roadway. So one more time, a rock slide on the Mountain Parkway near mile marker 65. Now to wrap up this evening's show with your Licking Valley RECC forecast, we had 39 degrees, some sunshine today. I got a car wash, and subsequently about 10 pounds of salt fell off my car. But you can see what color it is now. It's probably going to be short-lived, as we have partly cloudy skies tonight, calm winds, but a low of around 25 degrees tonight, followed by a Thursday that will see some changes. First of several hits. We've got a clipper. We've got a system that I spoke of earlier at the head of the program that's going to change things up big time, possibly for Super Bowl Sunday and your weekend. And it's all just part of winter in Kentucky. So after partly cloudy and calm conditions tonight and lows well below the freezing mark at 25, we'll see a 50% chance of some showers. This next system should move in mainly after 11 in the morning. We'll see clouds hang tough throughout the day. 47, we'll also see winds. And for the viewing area, we're talking about south winds, 5 to 11 miles per hour, maybe gusts upwards of 17 miles per hour at times tomorrow. And for tomorrow night, I wasn't quite done with that frame. And for tomorrow night, still a chance of rain that may change over into some snow showers before midnight and continue throughout. Cloudy skies, a low of 25 tomorrow night. Winds will start to decrease, a west wind 7 to 9 by tomorrow night. As far as snow accumulation and a snow day on Friday, little or no snow accumulation is expected. And when we see a little bit of changeover tomorrow night and into your Friday morning, we've got a 10% chance of those snow showers lingering up before 7 o'clock, then gradually becoming mostly sunny. I can't rule out a snow day, just don't see much accumulation with this system right now. We'll see Friday a high near 33 degrees, which is close to freezing, so can't rule it out. Roads could become a little bit slicker and hazardous. Friday night, partly cloudy, a low back down into the teens. And here's your weekend staring at us. Mostly sunny, says your Licking Valley forecast, and 36 degrees, similar to today, maybe not quite as warm on your Saturday. And then Saturday night, we'll see clouds increase. Mostly cloudy skies. Saturday night, a low of 27. Very late, and I'm talking about 4 a.m. into your Sunday, a 20% chance of some snow. As we hit 43 degrees Sunday, it's going to be a rain event, so a little snow at the onset, rain throughout the afternoon, and if there's still precipitation around, as I suspect there very well may be Sunday night, we'll see it change back over from wet to white with a low of 27 on your Sunday night. This is all part of that system that I spoke of earlier that is still too far away to track. It's just showed up on so many computer models in so many different forms and variances that really no way to say what we're going to be in store for on Super Bowl Sunday, but we'll know more about it in the next 48 hours, certainly before the weekend. Monday looks to be 34, 50% chance of some more snow, mostly cloudy skies. Tuesday of next week, we're talking 30 for the high, 20 for the low with some sunshine, and the upper 40s, mid-40s by next Wednesday. So all in all, winter, it's still here, not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. But I am. That's my time. Thank you all for being a part of it. I'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. As always, a sincere thank you for being a part of our show.